Hey everyone, welcome to Super Dev Labs. I'm Rugged. It's pronounced Rug-ed, not rugged, like as in losing all of your money. It's rugged, tough, built, rough around the edges. You know, rugged. Anyways, today I'm going to show you what I look for in a coin on Pump Fun. So I did actually use AI on a previous video to kind of show you what to look for to try to protect yourself against rugging, but I figured I'd actually show you in real life what I look for on a daily basis. So let's get started, shall we? As you can see here, I already have my wallet from Phantom already attached here. I did try to actually launch a coin earlier this morning at 5 o'clock. It didn't go anywhere. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, so it was nothing, but no big deal. So I have $125 of SOL, so 1.46 SOL in here right now. So let's start looking to see what kind of coins we want to actually look for. So on the top left-hand corner, you want to go ahead and click on, it's not on the screen right now, but on the top left-hand corner, you want to go ahead and click on Home. So once you connect your wallet, we can go ahead and do that now. If you don't know how to connect your wallet, I can show you how to do that later. So right here, as you can see, we do actually have all the different coins right now. It shows you the movers right here. It shows agents. It shows the live. I like to look at the lives, the new market caps, what's going on with mayhem. I try to stay away from mayhem because you can lose almost everything. Here's the oldest. Okay, so this is everything you can be looking at right now. So, I'm going to be talking to you like you're brand new at trading on this. So, let's look at live first. Okay, so I'm going to be looking at some of these. So, I'm going to look at some of these. Like this one. This is 4 minutes old. This is 3,000 market cap. This is 1 hour old. Okay. All right, I'm not going to do this. I'm not getting a really good feeling about that. Let's go ahead and go to movers. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for some type of meta that I feel like could run. So we have the Pepper Killer. We have I Touch Grass. This one's at 1.72 million. Okay, I'm going to show you this one right here. Okay, this is what we're looking at right now. Okay, so if you're looking at this, we're sitting right over here on the top left-hand corner. We're looking at 18,800 market cap. It is moving right now. It looks pretty significant. So right now we're at bonding curve of 86%. That's what you're looking at right now. That's migration. So right now we're looking at the top holders at 3.37%. So I like to keep it right around 3% or less if I can. And I'm going to click on the bubble map. All right, so one thing we'll look at is the bubble map. So you see this cluster right here, these are all connected. I mean, I feel like this is like a bot running it. That's just that's my take on it. But it's just a cluster. So I mean, right now, between all of these, it's holding. You can actually see that you can add all these up, and you can actually see like what percentage they actually are holding. So even though that is showing that 3.37% is actually the top holder, you can actually look on the bubble map right here. You can actually see that like this one is 2.99%, this one's 0.84, this one's 0.77, that's 0.86, that's 0.96, that's 0.875, and so on. So it looks like somebody I had already sold because I'm pretty sure I saw that one was like, okay, so right now, 7.9%, that's the total right now. So that's kind of, if this cluster sold, if this bundle sold, that could really control, that could really actually change the narrative of the coin. This one's 6.56%, this one's 0.96. So ultimately, I do see this as a kind of a risky coin. But if I were to get into this, I would only get into it temporarily. and I would only look into it once. So I'm only going to throw in 0.1 in here. I am buying right now. I'm going to put in my password. Actually, I don't need to do that. And let's see if it actually is allowing me to do it. Confirm. There you go. So what I'm doing is I did go ahead and put in 0.1. I am going to see what it does. I mean, so like right now, I'm keeping an eye on it only because I feel like it has a good chance of actually bonding since we're at 85% bonding. Because there has had many opportunities for it to actually rug, like right here. This usually when you see a death cell right here, that is usually to kind of get out the snipers, and then they did an immediate buyback, so you can see the buyback. And then right here, this is when you can actually see like a big rug that could have actually happened, but there was a major buyback, so it actually already had an opportunity to actually rug on us, but it did not. So right here, it already did another sell. So because I feel kind of confident at this point that it's still, I'm going to go ahead and put in a 0.05. Do another buy. Okay. And pump fund is usually not where I usually use GMGN. So in the video link below in the comments, I will put in my link to GMGN. So I do get paid a referral off that, just so you know. I mean, full disclosure, I do like transparency, but I'm going to keep an eye on this for a little bit. I'm going to probably sell it here in a few minutes, but we're just going to keep an eye on it. I do not like to stand coins very long, but you do need to actually have diamond hands to kind of see. So like I probably would have sold if I would not have seen this beforehand, these dips, because right now this dip, this dip, this dip, and this dip, those are pretty evenly spaced out compared to this one. So I feel like this is just going to continue to go up. So my expectation is probably it's going to probably go up to about 20,000. That's my expectation. And then when it hits 20,000, that's probably when I will pull out, and that'll be about a 10% gain. So I will be looking at that. So right now we're sitting at 13,000. I could actually buy in a little bit more. Okay. So it can be nerve-wracking. I know it can be, but if you look at the chart, I'm going to space this out. When you look at it like this, it looks like it's a significant drop. But when you spread it out like this, you can see it's a pretty consistent drop. Okay, so it's not as dramatic as you initially think at the first glance. So you want to play with the chart to see what it actually looks like. So it looks like pretty organic, right? So that's why I'm pretty confident there that we can still hit the 20,000, because as it gets squeezed together like this, it really shows, it really makes it look different. It looks like it's actually, you know, it really fools the eye a little bit. So that's why it's important to actually keep it in perspective and kind of know. And so while I'm looking at this, I'm also looking to see um, if any of this has changed. So none of the holders have actually changed as well. There are some other aspects on this that I would be looking at too. For instance, like on this wallet, I would actually have been checking to see if this wallet, if this creator, if it is a brand new wallet or not, and you can actually check that on SolTrend, SolTrend, SolScan, excuse me, as well. But I'm not going to do that right now because I am keeping an eye on this coin because it is sitting at 10,000, and I just don't want to lose too much money if it does go down further. So, but at this point, I am debating if I want to put in more or not, because this is where it kind of gets risky, because at this point, 10,000. Okay, so we did actually have a nice little green candle right there. So, and again, so this is just again how I like to trade. But if you look at this, you can see that it's a very consistent pattern to all the other things. So as we are going up, we're going to 13,000. Okay. And we're still at 13,100. Okay. And there are going to be people that actually do take their profits as we go. So, and initially, I will later on in future videos, I will show you what these different tools do on the side here, so you can actually see. Let's see what to look for. But right now, I'm just showing you initially without investing too much money on it. Okay, we're sitting at 15,000. At this point, you can see that a lot of people would actually sell right here because they would be concerned. There might be stop losses, things like that, that actually be sold, that because they don't want it to be rugged. So that's why when I trade, I do keep an eye on the charts. A lot of my friends that do trade in the space, they do put their stop losses on it, which I'm a proponent of. But I like to keep an eye on the trades because on the charts, because I can kind of see the organic flow, and you can see kind of what is happening. Because if I'm manually trading this and I can see these kind of historical trades happening, then I know that, okay, I'm not going to put a stop loss around here because I'm pretty sure that it's going to continue to go up. So we're sitting at 15,000. And we're going to continue to go up right now. We might see a little slight dip, but I still am confident that we will actually see this bump up to 20,000. Did buy at a nearly all-time high. I will go ahead and put in another 0.05 at this point. Okay. So at this point, I have put in 5 buys. If I'm reading the chart correctly. So we're sitting at 13,500. So, and that's the key is if you're confident that you want to make sure that you are only investing money that you're willing to potentially lose, because this is not financial advice at all. You want to trade at your own risk, because this is for entertainment purposes only. So I want to make sure that that is very clear to you that this is entertainment purposes, and that only be willing to put money into meme coins since it is a very volatile marketplace. But for me personally, what I like to do in this case, as people sell down here, I do like to buy. So that's when people say buy the dip. Some people do not buy the dip, and that's why so many coins actually do rug right now. Because I'm just going to throw this out there on these coins that do rug. if I had deeper pockets, I would actually be buying the coins after they rugged. And if there were other people that actually saw it like I did, then we could actually keep that coin alive. And actually, with that bundle out, we could actually control the narrative potentially. So, which I think would be very, very helpful to turn around this market. It's a bear market. Okay. I usually do not like to trade to hold this long, but since I did get into it at at a higher price point, I am kind of forced to hold my coins longer because I'm trying to recoup my losses at this point. So, and that is the trade-off, because that is the risk that if it were to drop at this point, if a bundle were to get out, I could lose what I put into it so far, which is probably like 21 bucks. So that's why I want to make sure that I am keeping my eye on it, because I don't necessarily want to lose 21 bucks, even though I am prepared to and okay with it if I do. So this is, you can see the volume is kind of dying down. So in my opinion, I do feel like that this coin is kind of starting to die down a little bit. So based off of that, I do feel like that this coin is potentially losing its I'm not feeling good about this coin. I'm really kind of starting to feel kind of easy about it, because the volume is actually going down dramatically. I mean, look at the volume from here down to here. So it does make me feel uneasy. Unless we actually had a huge buy right now. That's the only time that I would actually potentially. Usually when you see the volume kind of die off like this, you will see that that's when the dev or the bot is, they're willing to take their losses. And I am going to go ahead and get out of this, because I feel like I'm just going to keep the stream playing. I'm going to see if it does actually turn out to, if a bundle does get out, because at this point I'm thinking that the bundle is going to be impatient, and because the volume has gone down dramatically, and you're going to see a huge drop because of the volume has gone down dramatically. Once it hits 7,000, I do see that there's going to be no recovery. That's historically what I see. I'm not a caller. I do not ever call coins. I don't ever feel good about calling coins, because there's so much volatility in the marketplace. But again, the volume, can see the green is continuously going down, so it is continuously steady. So my thinking is that this is a bot. So usually a lot of these buy bots, these volume bots, that as they buy, when the volume goes down, then they actually start selling out their positions, which will actually cause they will sell out, and it will actually slowly just slowly drop. You are starting to see it climb a little bit, a slow climb, but it's way too slow. You can see right down here, you can see that the volume is nearly disappearing. It's dissipating. So you can definitely see that it is starting to be just a regular normal volume bot. And that's ultimately what that is. So you can see that there's more red than there are green. So we are losing momentum. And I just want to show the string because I just want to show what actually does happen. Usually what I'll see is, in cases like this, I'll see the dev or the bot will actually show a lot of buys, and they'll actually get a little bit more buy-ins, and then you'll see the bundle get out, and that's when you see it's like that's what kills the coin. So we'll see that happens here. Still way below the comfort. So let's go ahead and so when you push it together like that, it looks like it's a nice little recovery. But you can see that red reversal. And I actually have it on 15 seconds. So let's change it to a minute. There we go. I like to show it every 15 or 30 seconds because it shows truly what the volume is looking like. But see how the constant, steady flow in the volume? You can definitely see that the coin is starting to die. It's pushing. It's saying it's 10.3, but we're actually at 9.1. There it goes. And you will see a little bit of farmers right here too. I could technically get in right now and actually make a little bit of a profit if it goes from 9 to 10,000, which it's a risk, but I am going to show you. I'm going to wait a little bit. I should not have waited. 7,580. I would not say this is a rug. All right, so there's a huge buy. Somebody wants to keep it alive. But again, people take their profits. They do a full clip and they try to recover, and then it just goes right back. It's going to settle back down to $7,600 here in just a couple of minutes. That's why you never put in your full clip right then. I mean, you don't ever put in your full couple sold, no matter if you're dev or not, because at this point, people are going to take their profits and try to recover some of the losses. You put in small amounts. Because when we do see that people will put in a huge amount of money, like sometimes you'll see like 5 SOL or 10 SOL, they'll disappear in an instant because people will take their profits immediately. And you don't want that to happen to you. You want to follow the organic path. So we're seeing at 8,554, 8,046. So we already lost that green candle. Okay. Okay. So that did not go quite how I like to have it go, but hopefully you can see what I was looking at, that this market, the meme market is very volatile. So what I was saying is true, that it could have actually gone up to 20,000, but the momentum can change in any kind of direction. So I missed out on, I was not looking at the volume soon enough before I was making that prediction. So you do want to make sure there's a couple things you want to look for. So remember this: you want to look for, number one, you want to look for um, how many holders there are. So if there's just a handful of holders, um, and there's a huge bubble that's actually holding it, then that's a no-no. So you want to make sure that the top holder is not holding any more than 3% usually. Um, you are going to see bubbles on the bubble map, but usually that means if it's maybe like 6%, something like that, it's between two bubbles. That means that somebody split their wallet, and most likely they're not wanting to rug it, that they're just trying to make more money. So the other thing that you want to look at is you want to look at volume, because the volume is really important too, because it shows you what kind of activity it is. Because if it's a volume bot, then it's just going to show a little bit of small buys, small sells, and it's just going to be very just it stirs the activity a little bit. The other thing that you want to take a look at is you want to see how old the wallet is too, because a lot of times if it's a brand new wallet, it could end up being a rug. This I don't think was a rug. It's more of a bot that it did actually have a volume bot. You can definitely tell by the slower transactions towards the end, because how the volume bots a lot of times work is that when you actually are when you have more activity and more volume coming in, then they will actually have more buys, but it will slowly sell off as there's less activity. So at least that's the kind of volume bots I've seen. So um, but again, remember that this is not financial advice. This is just to help you to hopefully protect you more in the spaces to kind of keep an eye on what to look for. You want to look at the history of the coin too. If you see this constant flow like this, constant flow going upwards, most likely that's going to be a rug, because you're going to see some highs and lows in any kind of organic growth. So in the coming videos, I will show those examples as well, but this one is a good example that it's kind of a safe coin that you could actually do a little bit of farming in if you keep an eye on it. It's not a coin that I would actually walk away from and hold long term. I only did lose $7 in it, but you just want to keep an eye on it. Don't walk away, because it's just too risky. So thank you for watching. I will keep the GMGN link below as well. I will also include the worksheet, the spreadsheet, the cheat sheet in the link below. It's going to be to my Google Drive. And also, if you have not, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.